There were many factors that determined the 47th president. All morning long, we've gone over the key races both in state and across the country. And joining us now to talk about what happened this election cycle, we have Oakland University professor Peter Trumbore. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
All right, let's talk about the factors that were most important to voters when choosing their next president. We have a president-elect, it's Donald Trump. So what factors were most important?
So if you look across the board at the swing states that Trump won, the top two issues are ones where he was leading in the polls throughout the cycle. And that was number one, the economy, and number two, immigration. And the issues where Democrats had an advantage, where Kamala Harris had an advantage, were pretty far down the list in terms of voter priorities. So if we're going to look at this outcome being driven by policy ideas, then it's the economy and immigration. And so that's kind of the story of the night and of the morning.
Yeah, another big thing, especially for the Arab American population, is the Israel-Hamas war. When they're looking to end the war against Israel, of course, can you walk us through both the presidential candidates' stances on that issue?
Well, it's interesting. Both candidates were firm in their commitment to the security of Israel. Trump's line has been that all he has to do is get on the phone and make a telephone call and everything will just stop because he says so. And he offered no more significant policy plan than that. For Vice President Harris, her position was, I think, a little more nuanced and a little bit of a break from the Biden administration in general, in that she was much more willing to talk about the human toll in terms of Palestinian civilian deaths, and to be more critical of that than Trump was. But the anger at the Biden administration was very deep and remains very deep, and I think that has played a part.
One of my favorite topics, social media. We are bombarded with political ads on social media, political views on social media. Now that the election has wrapped up, do you think that will ease off a little when it comes to social media?
I would certainly hope so. I know that, like everybody else, I'm pretty tired of seeing all of the ads showing up across all the social media platforms that I look at. Yeah, at this point, right, certainly election-related ads are going to go away. But will political content go away? Absolutely not. We've seen a definite ideological shift on social media platforms towards the right. Certainly, this is very pronounced on X, formerly Twitter. It's also present on other platforms like Facebook. And so, to the extent to which our social media feeds will all of a sudden be free from political content, I think that's a pipe dream.
All right, CBS News conducted an exit poll on both the president's favorability and found Harris actually edged Trump on being more favorable at 46% compared to Trump at 42%. What we want to know is the 8% that says neither are favorable. Can you talk about how that has impacted elections?
So I think we've seen a couple of things. Third-party votes were up around the country. So people essentially saying, a curse on both of your houses. And I think that's reflected. And there's also just this general, sort of, I think, fatigue that people feel with politics in this country right now. And it makes everyone just sort of want to turn their back on the whole thing. In a race that had been this tight, small shifts like that make a big difference. And so, I'm reminded of a story that my mother used to tell about her parents' voting preferences. And this was, a long time ago. But her parents would routinely vote for the socialists in New York City, not because they themselves were socialists, but because they didn't like either the Democrats or the Republicans. And they were determined that they wouldn't give their vote to either. So I think we saw a lot of that in this cycle. And in some of the key states where things were really razor thin, some of those votes for third-party candidates made a big difference.
All right, Peter, appreciate that insight this morning.
Sure thing.